right, PFT PM Posse Mailbag. It's been 200 or more days since we've last heard from Jerry Jones. Is this a record, Charean? When do you expect us to hear from him again? Now, we saw him buying wine at a 7-Eleven a few weeks ago, but we haven't heard from him. When are we going to hear from this guy?
It's been forever, Mike. They're required to do a press conference with the GM, which he is the GM, before the draft. So I expect that week before the draft is the next time we'll hear from Jerry Jones. This absolutely is the longest he's ever gone without a press conference. I guarantee you. And I guarantee you he missed it. And I guarantee you he can't wait to talk. And when he does finally talk, that thing could go on for hours, Mike.
Now, we do hear from him twice a week during the season on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, so he hasn't exactly been hiding under a rock. But I know from the Cowboys games that you attend, it's always appointment viewing and listening when he holds court with reporters after the game and talks for 25 or 30 minutes, and we were without that this year because of the pandemic. Fred the Great, where is the best place for Vikings defensive end Danielle Hunter? What would they want in return? Look, I don't know that they're even going to trade him. I think the best place for him is Minnesota. They had no pass rush without him last year. Last year he wasn't happy with his contract, and he had that tweak, as Mike Zimmer called it. Well, the tweak ended up knocking him out for the year because he had some sort of a disc issue in his neck. I just hope he's healthy for his sake and he can get back to being the guy that he was. But I think once Joey Bosa got that $27 million per year contract, that's when Hunter got very upset with his deal that pays about half that. I don't know that the Vikings would even be comfortable adjusting it until they know he's healthy. I think the best thing for him to do now is reestablish himself and then hope the Vikings find a way to take care of him.
And maybe they have a handshake, wink, wink. Hey, show us in 2021 that you're healthy and we promise to redo your contract or trade you or make it work out for you after this season if we can't pay you. Because he showed, Mike, for 2 years there, he was one of the best edge rushers in football. He's still only 26. They try to trade this guy, they're going to get nothing for him right now. I mean, he's worth probably 2 first-rounders, but are you giving up 2 first-rounders to get him when he's coming off a neck injury? No, I don't think so. So the best place for him this year is Minnesota. Go prove it again, and then you'll get paid next year.
Brad Dugan, 87. What are the chances the Panthers land Deshaun Watson or trade up for a quarterback in the draft? Look, I think whatever they do, David Tepper, the owner of the team, a man who is used to getting what he wants and has the money to get what he needs and then some, he wants a franchise quarterback, and he seems hell-bent, Charean, on getting one. Deshaun Watson, a target, moving up in the draft, a target. Who knows how high they'd have to go, but he wants that guy who is going to be the transformational quarterback that leads that team into a future of being a contender year in and year out. He has his coach, he has his GM, and now he wants his quarterback. And I would not bet against David Tepper when it comes to a guy used to getting his way, and getting a franchise quarterback somehow, some way this offseason.
We know Deshaun Watson makes so much sense from the fact that he played at Clemson. Those fans would go ballistic. They would sell out that stadium. It would be great for Carolina. I don't know how Deshaun Watson feels about Carolina. He has the no-trade clause. And I just think that Houston's going to screw this thing up. So to me, the best course of action for Carolina is to evaluate these quarterbacks. And if you like one at 8, you take him. He's your guy.
Or you just wait out the Texans. You assume they eventually are going to screw it up and realize too late what they could have done, and maybe you could get Deshaun Watson later. David Tepper has to at least be thinking of that possibility, that in failing to maximize the return they could get now for Deshaun Watson, if you're patient, there's an opportunity to swoop in and get Deshaun Watson later when maybe there's no one else who's in the running for Deshaun Watson. But you're right, Charean, he's got to want to go to Carolina and waive his no-trade clause for that to occur. But either way, whoever it is, I think they're going to find a way to get a guy that they believe is a franchise quarterback. All Sports Global, if you were the Seahawks, Charean, what would you want for a Russell Wilson trade?
It'd take a lot, Mike, and it's going to hurt whoever trades for him. You know, we talked about Chicago. It's going to take Khalil Mack and at least 2 first-rounders, maybe 3. I mean, he's that good that it's going to hurt you to trade for him, and you're going to have to figure out how to build around him without much draft capital. But it's going to take a lot, Mike.
If you give me Khalil Mack, the 20th overall pick in the draft, and next year's first-rounder for the Bears, I think I'd take it. If I acknowledge the fact that at some point this ship is running aground with Russell Wilson and it's getting closer and closer to the rocks, I'm going to take that and move on. Gets back to what I always say. They don't view him the way he views him. Somebody else views him the way he views him. Yep. That someone else is going to make an offer that the Seahawks will say, hell yeah, we'll take that. 3 first-round picks, maybe more, maybe some players, whatever the case may be. I just feel like it's inevitable, and it makes sense to do it now and not have it hover over the team for the entire 21 season. Real quickly, going deep, your thoughts on Juju Smith-Schuster or Zach Ertz to Baltimore, Charean?
Well, I think they need some help, Mike. This is an offense that the receiving core ranked last in every category. They've got to get some wideouts. However they do that, Willie Snead's a free agent. Des Bryant coming back. Hollywood Brown has been okay, but he hasn't been great. So they've got to improve at that position however they do it, Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.